Okay. All right. Especially if you are a conspirator, one of the dread members of the conspiratorium, not a conspiracist. I don't know what the differences are. I love this. Don't forget what Gore Vidal said. He said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm a conspiracy analyst. And also, conspiracy theory is another way of saying true. I want to talk to you about something today, a doctrine, a concept which is so important, and so you must master this to understand everything and to be able to speak to a fellow conspiracist. You must understand this. It's called the Hegelian Dialectic or problem reaction solution. They're kind of the same, but not really. But before I forget, and before we move on, I want you to make sure that you check out our dear friends at My Patriot Supply by using the URL preparewithlionel.com. This is very simply so important. If you go there, you'll get a 3-month emergency food supply kit. This is per person you need. And you receive $200 of free survival gear along with it. You have and we're not talking about living in the woods. We're not talking about black helicopters. I don't know why people always think this. We're talking about what you would need in the event of some kind of a disaster, supply chain breakdown, whatever. Okay? It's that simple. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. Do yourself a favor now while you can. Makes complete and total sense. All right. Now listen to me. There is something that all of us know and have known. Those of us who are members of the club, and it's referred to as a Hegelian dialectic, after Hegel and the dialectic. And it is and isn't. But let me explain it. The Hegelian dialectic uses the dialectic of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. And I don't want to go into that because that's not really the best way to describe it. We call it problem, reaction, solution. That's the story. So many people have talked about it, and it's one of the most incredibly brilliant ideas you have ever heard of, and it makes complete and total sense. And this is why people have to recognize this and why it's critical. In fact, when I was looking this up, I think Jim Tucker came up, maybe. Problem, reaction, solution. Yeah. This is the other. Many people have said it. It's been actually, somebody actually claims that David Icke postulated this. Well, he might have, but other people have talked about it before. But it works something like this, and this is what you have to recognize. Okay? First, let's assume you and I are nefarious, bad people. And we want to cajole, wheedle, manipulate our society into doing something. Or we want to change the landscape of everything by virtue of something very clever, something very brilliant, something very uniquely diabolical, dare I say. And what we do is we create a situation that we'll call a problem. Now, it comes in many, many different ways. Many, many different ways. For example, let's assume I were to allow crime to get really out of control. And I would use my statist, sock puppet media, lackeys and lickspittles, minions and toadies and bootlickers and my dim boxes and factotums, my amanuenses, as it were, and I would get them to basically provide this narrative that there's crime and recklessness and lawlessness and treachery and fear and disaster and oh my God, and what are we going to do? Maybe because I'm not doing anything. Maybe because I'm not stopping crime. Maybe because I'm not, doing my job as the government in basically putting people behind bars and that sort of thing. So anyway, I have created a problem. Then comes the reaction. Oh no! And this can come in a variety of different ways. Health problems, societal problems, threats of foreign, intrusive bad guys. But the second problem, so we have the problem. That's the first thing that I've created. This let's make it very simple. Crime. Death wish crime. Reaction. Please, government, do something. Do something. Fix this problem. We'll do anything. We will tolerate anything. We can't live like this anymore. Okay. Third, solution. Draconian, Orwellian, dystopian, totalitarian, authoritarian, basically gulag horror. Ta-da! And remember, you asked for it. There was a great scene from the first Jack Reacher. I kind of like that. Tom Cruise is a great actor. You may laugh all you want, but he's pretty good. And there was a scene in the first Jack Reacher, not this new feller, this big guy, but the Tom Cruise. And he's gonna go. He's being challenged to a fight, and he goes outside. And there's like 5 people, and he basically promises he's going to cripple these people. And he tells the main guy right before the fight is to commence, right before he is to exact this horror, this damage, this pain, this paralyzing destruction against this person. He turns to him and says, "Remember, you wanted this." And boom, gets him. I use that line. Remember, you wanted this. You wanted me to be like this. Okay. That is the answer. And by the way, variations of this happen. For example, we as a regular society are so disgusted, so violently, intellectually violently disgusted by what's going on, that we want something to be done because of the crime that is the perceived crime, which is going through the roof. And that pendulum swinging back is going to be a wrecking ball. And that, in past regimes, has turned into fascism. That's why you've got to be very careful when you get people really upset about crime and disorder and that sort of thing. So keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. Keep it very, very focused specifically on how that works, because you cannot put people through these horrors and then expect them just to bounce back and be resilient. The Hegelian dialectic is one of these things that is so wonderful. Take, for example, let's assume we were to have some type of a health problem, a plague, something, whatever, locusts, swarms, bats, name it, something en masse, some swarm, some conflagration, some tsunami that affects everybody. Help us! UFOs, aliens, or aliens, as Ronald Reagan will call them. Something like that. Problem. Reaction. Do something! Stop the locusts and the plague and the aliens and the Russians or whatever it is. Okay. Solution. Ta-da! Draco's best. The draconian, totalitarian, whatever. Or it can work the other way too. It can work, you can impose or superimpose. You can say, now listen, we've got to do something about these hate people. We got these hate people online, and we create these hate and this misinformation and disinformation, and oh my God, and this and the hate and with the hate and the hate, and we can't have the hate, and not hate Ashbury, but hate. Hate, misinformation, disinformation, wrong, hate, nationalism, racism, vile, racist. Okay, you got it. Problem. Reaction. Do something. Do something. Okay. Censorship. It's beautiful. When you're aware of this, when you're hip to it, when you feel it and know it, and grasp it and can touch it, and palpate it, and hold it and fondle it, and just feel the suppleness of this beautiful dialectic or process, it all makes sense. All right, dear friends, don't forget our sponsor, My Patriot Supply, by using the only link which I've made available to you, preparewithlionel.com. Okay? Makes sense. Did I mention that? I think I did, didn't I? preparewithlionel.com. I forget sometimes. I'm getting at that age. preparewithlionel.com. It's for food preparation. Sometimes, you do so many of these things, and you wonder, where am I? Do you ever think about that? Where am I? What's going on? Who ordered the veal cutlet? Joe Biden must feel like this on his best day. In any event, my friends, preparewithlionel.com, 30-day food guarantee supplies. Okay, you got that. Now, do me a favor. Do me a favor, please. Please, please, like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, I beg and beseech, implore, and entreat you, importune you to comment as you see fit.